You probably know who these works were by. You might have seen them on the internet, on TV, on the news. Or maybe you just read the title of this video. This is Banksy. Who is Banksy? Well, nobody knows. So what's the deal with this guy? According to Wikipedia, he's an artist, a political activist, and a film director. He's said to be born in Bristol in 1974. And he started doing graffiti with the Dry Bread Z crew in 1990 as a freehand artist. He was inspired and took part in the Bristol underground scene, a cultural movement which is characteristic of its strong bond between art and music, and that gave birth to trip-hop and graffiti as an art, thanks to Banksy, then local graffiti artist, Robert Del Naya, aka 3D, now musician in the band Massive Attack, and other emerging street artists. To this day, Banksy keeps on creating thought-provoking art around the world. I have decided to go to England to scavenge for more data on Banksy, so yeah, let's go. How do you recognize a Banksy? Well, he has quite a unique type of style in his street art, ranging from recognizable graffiti art with stencils overlapped with different colors, to sculptures and statues, and even bigger projects. The stencil style is made by printing or drawing a picture or an image onto sheets of acetate or card, then cutting them out by hand with a scalpel and attaching them to the wall or the canvas. Then spraying multiple layers of color to get the desired effect, like so in the video you are seeing behind me. Look right there! These are Banksy's famous mice. They appear in many places of the world where Banksy has been. In fact, on banksymap.com I found all the locations of where his graffitis are. There aren't many locations. Most of the graffitis are around the UK and abroad, for example in Los Angeles and New York in the case of this map in particular, which isn't complete as it's a fan-made project which sustains itself on user collaboration. In fact, on this website, all the listings are provided by signed-in users, so it isn't entirely accurate and reliable. There are many more precise maps online with his other works, if you're looking for a Banksy near you. We have seen what this person does, but do you remember when we mentioned before at the start of the video that he is also a film director and a political activist? What does that mean? He did make some films, most of which you can find on YouTube in general, or on his YouTube channel, Banksy Film, such as Exit to the Gift Shop, which I'm currently watching and has almost convinced me to become a street artist, and many other short and long videos or films where he either shows the making process of a piece he worked on, or an interview of some sort, where he talks about events in his life or in the lives of others surrounding him. You should check it out though. I also just realized it's kinda weird that his Instagram account has 11.8 million followers, while his YouTube channel has only 92,000 subscribers. I'll take this opportunity to illustrate his online presence. How does Banksy communicate with the world while keeping complete anonymity? He can obviously operate on his own website, banksy.co.uk, which he still uses for commercial uses. Oh cool, so I can actually use this if for non-commercial reasons. I mean, I'm not getting monetized anyway. But to be more present and connected, he logically opened a YouTube channel and an Instagram profile. Now he uses these accounts to confirm the authenticity of his works found around the world and to warn fans about upcoming projects. And political activist? If you know Banksy even just a little, you probably know his art is not just for an aesthetic choice or for the pleasing of public's eyes.
but it's a protest, a rebellion against various things. He communicates anti-war, capitalist, and establishment messages through comical characters, such as the mice we saw in London, policemen, children. He also supports many philanthropy projects, like a recent project by Legacy of War Foundation he supported to raise money for civilians affected by war conflict in Ukraine by making 50 screen prints. They received 1 million requests. The list just goes on from there, so let's explore some of his amazing creations.
First off, you cannot possibly have not seen this somewhere. It is probably Banksy's most well-known painting to this day. First of all, some introduction. This mural was found in South Bank on Waterloo Bridge in 2002, accompanied by the quote, "There is always hope." But the work is usually called Girl with Balloon or something on those lines. It was then found again in Shoreditch on a shop's wall in 2004. This last one was sold in 2007 for £37,200 at Sotheby's and removed from the wall and auctioned for £500,000 in 2015.
500,000?
Oh yes, editor, me. And numbers get way crazier. No murals of it in London remain. They were all removed and sold, it seems. Before that, in 2003, he had produced a set of 25 signed prints. Then in 2004 and 2005, 2 other sets, one of 600 unsigned prints and another one of 150 signed ones, of which one was sold in 2015 for £56,260. I know, editor, we're poor. Banksy made many variations of his creation over the years and used them in different contexts as support of social campaigns. On the West Bank burial in 2005, he made a variation of the girl flying up over the wall with balloons instead of using the original girl chasing the balloon caught by the wind. In 2014, he repainted the subject of his work so that it was a Syrian girl trying to get the balloon for the Syrian refugee crisis, and an animated video was made based on Banksy's art.
On March 15th, 2014, the world will wake up to the 3rd anniversary of the bloody conflict in Syria.
This is also a famous image because in 2018 at Sotheby's London, right after being sold, the painting was partly destroyed due to a shredder hidden inside the frame. The remains of Banksy's work became a new painting, Love is in the Bin. It was given by Banksy to a friend shortly after the Barely Legal exhibition in 2006. Banksy has said he prepared the self-destruct mechanism at this time in case the work was ever put up for auction. Sotheby's declared it was the first artwork in history to be created live during an auction. There is so much to talk about Banksy, so I just decided to focus on the bigger and more unusual projects than all of his paintings.
Paintings and murals are classic things to come by among artists, but Banksy went a step further, and I'll show you what exceptional projects he did. First of all, something here in London, more specifically in Croydon.
Normal day in Ohio.
Gross Domestic Product was an empty retail shop that Banksy bought in Croydon, southern London, around 2019. Banksy then transformed it into a show of his art. It's obviously meant to be seen in person, as the reflective glass makes it hard to take pictures or videos, and the incredible variety of the expositions in every showcase make it a small on-the-road museum worth to visit.
It's not all though, because the pieces being showed are actually on sale. It makes sense, it's still a shop. The shop is not a traditional first come, first served though. Firstly, one can purchase only one item.
Secondly, to obtain one of the pieces exposed in the showcases, the customer had to apply to a lottery merit-based system on the website grossdomesticproduct.co.uk and answer the question, why does art matter? The answers were judged by comedian Adam Bloom, and if he thought they were clever, original, or witty, they entered the lottery extraction to win the chosen artwork.
Art in any area brings it up a bit. It's mad. It's Banksy, isn't it? It's cold. I like it. Croydon's just a mixture of diverse cultures and mad people.
That's how we kill our animals.
Put them on plaques.
No, look, suffocation, the plastic.
That's
Can
mad.
you not? Yeah.
Croydon's gone up in the world.
Bang it.
When I see that the handbag is made of a brick, it's very symbolic.
Second of his works in the UK that I deemed to be innovative and unusual enough is an amusement park, or should I say, bemusement. This is Disneyland. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Alright, Disneyland is a bemusement park created by Banksy in an abandoned sea resort in Somerset, the Tropicana, a discarded Lido. It was built in secret and opened the 21st of August 2015, then closed the 27th of September of the same year, lasting only 36 days.
Is there something missing in your life? Do you need to get out more? Then stop what you're doing and come to the happiest place on earth.
The park was probably inspired by Disneyland, a series of paintings by Jeff Gillette, who also took part in the project itself alongside 57 other artists that Banksy called to join the exhibition. To build it and keep it as secret as possible, the residents were told it was a set for a thriller movie called Grey Fox by Atlas Entertainment. Signs were posted around the site reading Grey Fox Productions, but soon pictures started circling online of Banksy's collaborators on the building site, and the project became less secret. The whole thing was funded by him, who for the event created 10 new art pieces. One of them, Dream Boat, was a coin-operated game where people had to bring refugees' boats to safety.
Major thing that stands out for me is the migrant boat, because it relates, to today's issue, which is a major one, and that everybody, should wake up and...
Come on, let's get these people to safety.
We can't help them. I think that's the problem as well of this installation, is like to feel useless, to, when you go out of... Exactly. When you go out of this park, then to do action on your own.
The work was donated to Help Refugees, an NGO, to raise money for charity, and it was displayed in London at the Help Refugees pop-up shop for sale. To participate, one had to pay £2 and try to guess the weight of the piece itself. Whoever was closest to the actual weight of the piece would win Dream Boat. The competition to win this art is very similar to the Gross Domestic Product shop. He will open a year later. In the period of Disneyland's activity, it sold 150,000 tickets for £3 each. And when it closed, the structure was made into a shelter for the refugees from the Calais jungle in France. Calais, I don't know how to say. Banksy doesn't only operate in the UK though. This project is proof of how far he wants to go for symbolic protest, and how many humanitarian issues he wants to raise awareness of, all at the same time. The Waldorf Hotel is a great example of raising awareness. It's a place where you can see art depicting the Israeli-Palestine conflict, while just outside the window the scenery unfolds with the separation wall. The hotel is in fact located next to the Israeli West Bank barrier, which is most probably why it was chosen as a location for this project. The hotel was customized by Banksy with the help of Dr. Gavin Grindon, who is a professor that often helps Banksy with his projects. The hotel is a legit hotel, so people can book a stay there. So you can book a stay there and sleep in a room with a Banksy for a night. Obviously, to discourage defacement and theft of Banksy's works, people have to leave a $1,000 deposit, which will be given back after a thorough check of the whole room. The hotel opened in 2017 and has since attracted 140,000 visitors.
In 2008 we did not have much to
tourists coming into Bethlehem, but there were more Banksy tourists coming to Bethlehem than any other type of tourist. So actually there were more Banksy tourists coming to Bethlehem than Nativity church tourists. We say more Banksy tourists than Jesus tourists.
The hotel is basically a museum. Besides the rooms personalized by Banksy himself, it includes a gallery for Palestinian artists, the biggest permanent platform for Palestinian exhibitions that has complete autonomy from the rest of the building. In fact, the whole building is open to the public, even people who do not plan a stay. At the reception, visitors can buy original artwork and postcards, just like a real gallery. The hotel has partly refreshed the West Bank barrier with tourism, even though in this case critics have classified it as war tourism, also raising awareness to the conflict. If you might have any other questions, you can visit the website walldorfhotel.com, where you can book a room or check the questions section, where many questions, even if a bit humorous, are answered. What a nice day to be swimming if it wasn't raining and cold. But we have to talk about a boat now, so yeah, what a coincidence. That was terrible. I'm not going to talk about just a simple boat. It's the MV Louise Michel. Yet another humanitarian project. Banksy is sure amazing. The MV Louise Michel is a former French Navy boat we've customized to perform search and rescue. She was bought with the proceeds from the sale of Banksy artwork and operated and crewed by a team of activist rescue professionals. She runs on a flat hierarchy and a vegan diet. This vessel was named after the French anarchist Louise Michel and customized by Banksy, which colored it pink and added another variation of the girl with balloon. The crew consisted in a veteran NGO captain, Pia Klemp, and other 9 people for the first mission, in which on the 27th of August 2020, 89 migrants were picked up. The day after, other 130 migrants were found, leaving the crew in charge of 219 people. So the crew sent distress signals to Italy and Malta, but only the day after, Italian Coast Guard arrived to help. Other charity ships arrived and the mission went all right, but the whole crew was deeply tried.
After radio silence from the Italian Coast Guard, on Saturday they responded to calls for help, transporting 49 migrants from charity vessel the Louise Michel to the island of Lampedusa. There were 32 women, 13 children, 4 men and 1 body, an unidentified migrant who failed in their dream to start a new life in Europe. It launched last week from near Valencia, but the 30-metre ship and its crew of 10 have been quickly overwhelmed. It came across nearly 90 people floating in a rubber boat on Wednesday, then 130 more off the coast of Libya. As the drama unfolded, Banksy posted this on Instagram.
Gonna let it go and selling for 860,000.
Writing, like most people who make it in the art world, I bought a yacht to cruise the Med. It's a French Navy vessel we converted into a lifeboat because EU authorities deliberately ignore distress calls from non-Europeans. He goes on to say, all Black Lives Matter.
Now these were some of the very big projects Banksy has worked on, so this isn't as big a thing, but it's still a problem for Banksy himself. Non-consensual exhibitions. It might not sound like much, but it is really an issue. Almost all of them charge an entry fee, and they claim to be organized by Banksy or by one of his collaborators. And others just say unauthorized exhibition, but still charge an entry fee. Banksy is annoyed by this because his art is for free, and if a museum is charging money to see his art, that's not okay with him. He addressed this problem on his Instagram account, and he dedicated a whole section of his website to it, and is actively raising consciousness of organizations charging to see his art, which is meant to be free. I must confess I am guilty of this trap, as around a year ago, I visited an exposition of sorts that declared to be an unauthorized exhibition. I thought it was all right, but I was still charged the admission fee. I still don't know if the money earned was given to charity or something, but I doubt it. Last but not least, this deserves a mention, are the latest murals that Banksy has revealed on his Instagram. He made 7 new murals in Ukraine, proving he is always active and keeping up with what happens in the world, no matter what.
Share